Okay, this is Article 2. So later this week, you'll be comparing the two articles and you'll be answering some questions. But when you compare text to text, two different pieces, it is best to have read the article in its entirety. So that's why I'm taking the time to make sure you have read both of these and that we have discussed them. Article 2 is by Rosa Parks. This is written by Rosa Parks. And what I found so interesting about the little note that they put up here is that it's a draft letter, which is much, so kind of like brainstorming. Like this is what Rosa wrote in the beginning, and this is not what was published. These are like her notes. So, we write a rough draft, or you're supposed to, and you go back and you make several revisions. So this is Rosa's rough draft, if you will, of a letter that she wrote. So some of her sentences could be choppy, abbreviated, and I'll do the best that I can to figure out maybe what it was that she was saying, but I don't know for sure. All right. City bus lines, front section reserved for white passengers, wash please maybe, predominantly Negro. Seating space for 10 persons left vacant whether or not they board the bus en route to town. The bus driver often passes colored passengers with these empty seats when he thinks enough are standing in the aisles. This means a larger number will be waiting for the next bus. The next bus driver may also not stop for the colored passengers. Sometimes colored passengers have to pay their fare at the front of the bus and then go to the rear door for the entrance, which is already overcrowded. It is not uncommon for a bus driver to order a colored woman to vacate a seat for a white man to be seated in the same space. Such practices and many other unjust things are regular routine. All right, so it looks like basically here in this paragraph, just kind of put a little bracket out to the side. We are talking about, and write maybe not fair. Go ahead and pause the video if you need time to do that. But go ahead and write not fair because that's what's being discussed in this paragraph. On reaching my job, which is at Monty's largest department store, Monty must be Montgomery Fair, there are the drinking fountains throughout the store, plainly marked, whites only, on one, and coloreds on the other. The women employee restroom is for white. The ladies' lounge for public is known to be for white only, without the sign. The white and colored women employees and colored women shoppers use the same lounge. The colored women employees eat their lunch in a little room next to the restroom. The doors between the toilet and the dining area cannot be closed tightly enough to stay shut. All right, so we have definitely poor conditions here. So maybe pause the video and let's write poor conditions. I bet you this word is supposed to be there. There is a luncheonette counter where some colored help is employed as cooks, dishwashers, etc., but colored people are not served at the counter. They may buy the food and they can take it away and eat it. So, please, so they want their money, but you're not allowed to sit there and eat it. Wow. Colored people are employed at this store as maids, porters, elevator operators, truck drivers, except that I work in the tailor shop doing men's clothing alterations of the tailor who is colored. One colored man is the window dresser. I don't know what else he does. There is a large number of Negroes shopping in this store most of the time. This thing called segregation here is a complete and solid pattern as a way of life. We are conditioned to and make the best of a bad situation. At the public library located near downtown shopping section, a colored person will not be permitted to come in and read a book or even be given one to take out. The requested book will be sent to the colored branch library on the east side of town if it is not already available there. Last year, some NAACP Youth Council members you can look, so this is, hopefully she took that out, went to this downtown library for reference books to use for school. They were told that the books would be sent to the branch library to be issued to them there, even though the young people lived on the west side of town. I mean, that's insane. go ahead and write, this will be the library example. Okay, so just write library. That way you'll know that if there's a question about the library treatment, you can go and find that paragraph real easily. So basically, if there was a book that they wanted at the public library and it was ready, like nobody had it checked out, it was there, it was not a problem, but they couldn't look at it or use it in that white library. Instead, the book would be mailed, shipped to the black library, and they would have to go all the way across town just to look at that book. They couldn't even look at it at the white library. So you see, my dear, it seems endless. I could go on and on. There would still be some more to tell. The schools are segregated and, of course, unequal. The churches are also segregated. White people sometimes visit colored churches, but I don't know if any colored people go to white churches except as nurses to look after small children. I don't know of any going as guests. I don't know how helpful this is to you, but I hope it may enlighten you a little about the way of the life in the South. All right, so this letter that Rosa wrote, if I were to make an inference, it sounds like it went to somebody in the North. It doesn't say who she sent it to. I'm up here looking real quickly. It's just describing racial segregation, but it sounds like she's writing to somebody up north as to how it was in the South. So I think here, maybe for here, I would just write, this has school. I would write school up at the top. And I would write churches. So if there's a question about that, you'll know where to go and find it.